Right now, I'm gonna do something a little weird. Oh, don't worry, my clothes are gonna stay on this time. No, but for real, I was browsing Amazon the other day and I came across a gem. Just a damn diamond in a sea of ordinary bullshit. And today we test it out. That's right, people. We got a $9.90 microphone here today. You might be asking yourself, why did you buy a $9.90 microphone? Well, it's mostly because it looks like a clone to a Neumann microphone, and I found that kind of funny. The microphone I'm going to show you today is the Zramo, Zramo, Z-R-A-M-O, the Zramo 104. But it is extremely apparent that they were trying to clone the Neumann KMS 104. I mean, literally 104 is in the name. And I would actually say it looks pretty close. I mean, there's just no shame at all. They even put the little diamond on here. I mean, sure, it doesn't have Neumann's little emblem, but still, come on. But one of the biggest reasons I did pull the trigger on this microphone is because this microphone has 14 reviews right now on Amazon, and it has a 4.4 out of 5. Needless to say, I was surprised by that. But there is the whole concept where a person gets a microphone for under $10 and it exceeds their expectations because they think it's going to be trash, which I mean, makes sense. But we'll see if it is just trash. But this under $10 microphone is in fact a handheld condenser microphone. To briefly go over some of the stuff, it is an XLR microphone. It feels gritty. Like, it doesn't feel smooth or nice at all. But the grill does actually feel pretty solid. And it kind of has like a grill within a grill going on here, like a larger mesh here and then a much tighter mesh. But when you take the grill off, this is actually what it looks like underneath it. And even though the finish doesn't feel great and it feels kind of weird, I will say I'm surprised by the build quality for $9.90. This does come in a silver and black version if you end up liking this. I'm not going to focus on the specs or anything. I didn't receive anything like that. It just came in a very simple little cardboard box, and it came with these two things. A little carrying case and the microphone. But let's just go ahead and plug it in and see how it sounds. Well, here it is, the 104. First thing I notice is that this requires like no gain whatsoever. I turned phantom power on with my Vocaster 1, and I'm at like 10% gain on this. It's kind of insane, actually. But it definitely does require phantom power. That is one thing to keep in mind. A lot of people will get inexpensive dynamic microphones because there are ways that you can plug them into like your phone and get a recording. But with this, you can't really do that unless you have some external phantom power supply. Next thing I will say is there is some definite RF interference that I noticed immediately. But anyway, what are you thinking? You like it? You love it? You gonna go buy one right now with my affiliate link? This microphone did not come with a microphone clip or like a pop filter or windscreen or anything like that. So we're just going to go ahead and do a few tests real quick with it. And then I'll actually put it in like a best case scenario situation, which is ridiculous for a $9.90 microphone. But anyway, if you get really close to this $10 microphone, here's how it's going to sound. I'm going to do some plosives. It's going to be loud. You've been warned. Plosive test with some pickled penises. Plosive pickled penises. Pickled penises. Plosive test with some pickled penises. Plosive pickled penises. Pickled penises. Now if you're going to type one-handed with some MX Cherry Blues behind you, here's how it's going to reject that sound. Now let's do a quick polar pattern test with some white noise. You guessed it, Blue wants in on this action. Let's do a kitty purr test. Now we have the microphone on an actual stand. I'm using a nice pop filter and everything. And actually, I think this pop filter is worth 10 times the microphone. For whatever reason, when you grip the microphone really hard or have like a mic clip around it or this shock mount, it like really starts buzzing. I'll show you a clip of that. But right now I've actually taken the time to do some post-processing with some FabFilter plugins. I'll label whatever I use. I may have thrown in like a universal audio plugin too, but I've just, did the best I could. I'm probably over-processing it for sure. But here's how it sounds when you have a very nice pop filter, this on a shock mount on a stand, and using hundreds of dollars worth of plugins. It doesn't make any sense that I'm doing this. Why am I even reviewing this microphone? I don't know. Here's the handling noise of this microphone, passing it back and forth, giving it a nice little squeezy. When it comes down to a microphone like this, I would say one of the more important things is that it sounds better than the audio you could get from your phone. Because if you have your phone with you all the time and you have your little voice memo app, you could just record into that. And if this doesn't sound better than your phone, why even bother? I understand that opinion isn't perfect because some people might just want to have a microphone on camera like this that looks like a microphone. They don't want to be holding, their phone up to their face like a weirdo. But it's just my opinion that any budget microphone should beat the audio that you can get from your phone. With that being said, let's do a quick comparison between the Zramo and my iPhone 12 Pro's audio. Right now you are listening to the Zramo $10 handheld microphone, and now you are listening to the iPhone 12 Pro's microphone, and I am using iRig Pre to record into this. So both of them are currently being recorded at 24-bit at 48 kilohertz. I'll switch back and forth between the microphones a couple times. Just be sure to pay attention to the lower third on the screen right now so you know which microphone is on. But is this giving you any clarification as to whether or not you should get this $10 microphone or just use your phone's audio? I know this isn't a perfect test, not everyone's phone sounds identical, but I think it's a decent baseline. Now we're going to do a quick acoustic guitar test. Before I give you my review of this microphone, I want to do one fun little thing. I want to send a sound sample of this microphone to one of my good friends, Jeremy or Bark from Obscure Mics. If you haven't checked out Obscure Mics, definitely check it out. It's a super fun channel. But I'm going to send him a sample of this microphone, see what he thinks of it, and at what price point it would come in at. All right, now I'm going to send it off to my beautiful little Barkarunio. What you doing? Yeah, I love you. So I just received that text from little Barky Bear, my little Barky Bunny Buns. And before I even tell the story, let me just say that I promise this is 100% accurate. None of this is fabricated. Completely real. I swear on my cat's life. Swearing on my cat's life is like the biggest deal to me, so I'm being honest. So I send my Barky baby the sample of the Zramo 104. The only hint I give him is that it is a handheld condenser microphone. That's it. No other hints. And I very simply asked him to give me his opinion on the sound of it, as well as what price range he thought it was in. I shit you not. He sends me this text. I listened in my car, and there was no low end at all. I would guess that's a $12 Zramo handheld condenser. Are you f***ing kidding me? He guessed the exact microphone. Yeah, sure, he was $2.10 off on the price, but I'll give it to him. My mind was just completely blown. So needless to say, I'm giving up audio. Go subscribe to him. I'm out. Just joking, I'll still be here. Well, now that we've gone through the basics and tested this microphone out, now I'm ready to give you my review of this $10 Zramo 104 microphone. To be completely honest, I've probably spent way too much time on this review for a $10 microphone, but I'm having fun with it, okay? I will say a part of me was expecting this microphone to actually be worse. I mean, it isn't like a complete piece of trash. There are definitely some bad things about it. It seems to have some RF interference. It occasionally just gets a clicking sound that I'm not sure what the hell is happening. I currently have the gain set to like 18% on this microphone because it's so damn sensitive. It's just an interesting little microphone. I do think it's actually like ultra hilarious that they made this look like a Neumann microphone. Neumann is known for having, like higher end, a little bit more expensive microphones. So the fact that this $9.90 microphone is modeled after like a $700 microphone just makes me giggle a little bit. Makes me giggles. Giggle City. When it comes to the sound of this microphone, it's $10. It's not great. It doesn't have a low end whatsoever. And when I had that whole situation earlier with Bark from Obscure Mics where he literally guessed the microphone dead on, I think it is because it just literally doesn't have any low end whatsoever, really helped him kind of pin down what microphone would sound like that. But it was just a weird coincidence because he had just bought this microphone also, and he had just been testing it out and everything, so it was kind of fresh in his ears. But what are the chances of that? We didn't even talk about getting this microphone together. That's just weird. But even though the sound isn't great, like I said before, I was expecting worse. But this microphone, it just kind of is what it is. I don't think it's like a hidden gem. I don't think it sounds incredible for the price. But if you want like a prop in the back of your videos and you want to make it look like you have a Neumann microphone back there, then yeah, this is probably a good product. If it's a little blurred, like it is in my video right now, no one's going to know the difference. They're going to be like, that's a Neumann. That's a Neumer. That's a Neumer. Would I recommend that people get this as their first microphone? Absolutely not. I just think the dynamic route for like really inexpensive microphones makes a little bit more sense. Then people can use like an XLR to 3.5 millimeter cable. That way they could plug it into like their computer or phone or iPad or whatever. And then they could actually experiment with recording a little bit, see if they like it. But with this requiring phantom power, it's just kind of bizarre. You have a much better option with like the Behringer XM8500. The XM8500 is double in price. A whole $20. Double in price sounds so intense, but it's not in this situation. So I think the grade that I'm going to give it is just a C. Because anyone who's paying $9.90 for a microphone should probably have their expectations in check. But that's pretty much it for this review, but don't click off yet. I do actually have one more test that I'm going to do with this microphone. I'm going to do a drop test and see just how durable this mic really is. But before I do that drop test, I do just want to do a quick sign off and say thank you to everyone that's watching this video, that likes and subscribes to the Audio Hotline. But most importantly, I want to thank my gorgeous, mind-bogglingly beautiful members of the Audio Hotline. You are the true MVPs, VIPs, nope, not that one. You all are the best. Well, thank you all for watching the Audio Hotline, and enjoy this drop test. Well, let's go ahead and kick off the drop test for the Zramo 104 handheld condenser microphone. The truth is, I actually dropped this microphone 38 times during this drop test. But you might be thinking, hey Bronson, hey B-Ron, hey Bron Swanson, why did you drop this microphone so many times? The truth is, after the first few times I dropped it, it just didn't look like it had been dropped at all, even though it was being dropped on freaking concrete. So I just kept on dropping it and dropping it. I just simply dropped these. I did not forcefully throw them or anything. But I will say the thing that took the most beating was definitely the grill. There were just a few scratches on the body. Honestly, nothing too serious. Pretty much halfway through these tests, I actually did plug the microphone in and I checked if it still worked, and it actually did. But after the 38 drops, it did stop working. But since this microphone took such a beating and held up pretty well, I kind of want to bump my grade up to like a C+ or B- just for that. But needless to say, I was very surprised how well this $9.90 microphone really held up under the pressure of concrete. But thank you all for watching this review of the Zramo 104 microphone. I'll see you next time.